what he don't know you eating.
Just got this suggested to me right now. We have Tisa Tells interviewing Lil Rod, the person who had filed the lawsuit against Diddy. He was his right hand man for some time. He uh, he produced a lot of records for Diddy, and it seems as if he's exposing them in this live right here. So let's see what's going on. See what they're talking
Be
about.
more. Well, I've heard there are more. That he has the most recent recollection of who Diddy is, how it came to be, and we are getting into the lawsuit. He is also in an undisclosed location. We'll get into that. So again, there's storms going on, cell phone, Wi-Fi and whatnot, but we are still grateful. So if you see the screen freezing, just know we are grateful that he is even taking the time to do this, and very, very grateful. So let me get this straight, because again, I have heard through talking to different people that Diddy like to play a lot of mind games. Right? Let me just put this a little lower till let's see. Hold on. Let's get him back up. Here we go. Um, I have heard that Diddy did like to play psychological games. To me, that sounds very Silence of the Lambs. So, what you guys are in the studio all day, you guys don't really get breaks like that. We all know what studio time looks like. You would have to, not only could you not eat in the studio, okay, fair enough, but you would have to hide even eating anywhere. He didn't want to see anybody eat. But yet, when he would come to check on you guys, he would sit down and be like, let me hear it, and be having exotic fruit, steak, lobster, whatever, and be sitting there eating in your face while you guys are showing them what you do. Is that kind of like what was going on?
Absolutely. And not to mention, don't ever get caught taking a nap in the studio. Add that too. You know what I mean?
And
But
it's common
definitely.
to take naps in studios, correct?
I'm sorry.
It's common to take naps in studios because you guys
Yeah,
are basically living there.
basic studio etiquettes would be, go. You can take a nap, but like find it around the couch where you're not taking the energy. He wouldn't
Mhm.
want to know that nobody's in that room taking a nap. Watch this. This the part that like this the part that like gets me. It's like, yo, you know, there were days it would tell the chef like don't cook for them. You know what I'm saying? Or we can't drink the Fiji water, right? But the liquor is flowing everywhere. It's all in this. You can't eat, but you could drink. You know what I'm
Huh.
saying? You feel me? You can
Hmm.
partake. You can smoke the hookahs. You can smoke
That's because
weed.
Diddy trying to get
You know
that
what I'm
booty.
saying? But no food. I just never
He was
understood
trying to get Lil Rod's booty.
that. You know what I'm saying? And food is, for me, a person like me, when I'm fed, I work better. I think better. You know what I'm saying? And so there was too
Hmm.
many times of just being in these sessions where it's a lot going on. It's like I'm just trying to get it together and stay focused because
Hmm.
I've had this much to eat and this much water, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever it
Hmm.
is. It's like,
You want, so
um,
even water, the liquor was flowing, but even food and water was like, yeah, good luck.
yeah,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying.
Listen, when I asked you what was your first inclination, this mofo was crazy. uh, Tattletales, y'all know me. Dream about ice cream all day. That would have been my first thing where it's like, this mofo is Silence of the Lambs. That would have scared me. I'm greedy. I like to eat. And like you, when I can't eat, I can't focus. And even when
What?
I can focus, I'm still dreaming about food, you
Yeah,
know?
but look at it like
You
this.
gotta eat.
Look at it like you on the road. Um, let's just say from California to Atlanta, and you're driving this by yourself, and you run into bad weather.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You pretty much gotta steal. You halfway there. You know what I mean? It's the same distance to go back and the same distance to go forward. And so you might as well find a way to find the strength to keep moving forward so you can get whatever that is that you sought out to get done
Yeah.
and multiple, you know, that's just been the ride. It's like, look, this album is almost done. This album stayed in almost done for almost a year. You know what I'm
Did it.
saying? We was in that fourth quarter, just like, yo, the the first 3 weeks we thought it was done, and it's like every time you thought you went forward, you take 3 steps back, or you know what I'm saying, or just a lot of hiccups, and then there was just times we was just sitting there like a week or two went past and we really ain't did nothing. We just over there in work position. You know what I'm saying? As slaves, and we over there playing loud music and messing around with this, messing around with this, messing around with that. You know what I'm saying? He's
Hmm.
giving us tasks that ain't even got nothing to do with the album. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is over there. Fortunately, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Mm. Were the kids not eating? Did you see Young Miami eat? Did you see
Oh,
Daphne eat?
listen, that pan is rolling in front of them faithfully. Yeah, eat. They gonna eat.
Okay.
That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into anything negative about the kids, but for sure, they're eating. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Miami? Was she fed? Did she get food?
Oh, she can have whatever she want. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm.
told she was getting um a nice 6-figure check a month. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And so
wow.
yeah, but we don't I don't want to stir nothing else back up. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay,
yeah,
that's respectful. Let
Have
me
them
ask you
stir it
this
up. Have
then.
them stir it up.
Because Miami did an interview where she said they were very much in love and she could sit in her femininity. And listen, I think Miami's beautiful, very talented. I wish her podcast a lot of luck. I mean, she don't need it. She already doing bigger numbers than me. So I wish her continued success. But let me ask you this. Do you, because when you guys were making the Love album, you were in the studio all the time and Diddy was in the studio all the time. Do you recall seeing Young Miami around a lot?
yeah. I we were mainly seeing. I mean, I've seen her in different states and out the country as well, but
Mhm.
I would mainly see her um in Miami.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And she'd be there. I always felt something a little odd or weird about them. It's like they was just trying to force it. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, in my opinion, I just feel like a lot of that was for the public. You know what I'm saying? He has his ways of marketing.
Mhm.
But even like you mentioned earlier today, the Kim Porter and the Cassie
Cassie.
song. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think he called it an album, but it's a song that he wrote out to her. Well,
Mhm.
he had us to write out to her, and I just remember my first time seeing her when these songs were played, and he just talking about his whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
like for me, it's just all right. Now let that have been any other woman, any other average man. You know what I'm saying? Hearing that him crying over one woman that had moved on, and the other one that is deceased. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, that's an interesting point. So she was around while he was doing this?
yeah, and they playing it, and I'm just watching her. It's like, yo, she had a lot to say in the room, but right now ain't much to say after that. It's just like it was like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was weird, but
So she was so when Miami was around, was she very talkative? You said
very,
maybe not why he was penning love letters to Cassie and Kim Porter. The Kim
very.
Porter stuff
I
was
would I would often um I would often um play like music chairs with them. So if I'm sitting here and they come close to me, I just automatically move this way. And they come that way, I move this way. I just like move around. You know what I'm saying? Or
mhm,
any of his women, I just move around. I don't, you know what I mean? And a couple of times they would like speak to me, or you know what I mean, certain things, and I just like try to avoid even that because you can just know, and I can just feel like the type of person that he is. It's like you know, on my I may not look like nothing now, but on my best day, I think I'm a very attractive man, and
and
I
on your
just
worst, and on your worst.
appreciate it, but but I just wouldn't, like to be in that situation where I feel like, or he may have felt like his women may have taken any attraction or liking to me, and so I would just always just play the music chairs, say say bare minimum, and most times I feel like they might have felt like I was mean. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
But the reality is, I'm just making sure that there's respect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In these rooms, as I do to most of my clients. Just you know what I mean. I'm not here to make anybody jealous or take anybody's significant other, but to
Mm-hmm.
make business and business friendships, etc. So um,
Yeah.
that was
I
my
mean,
experience.
you were raised right. Like even me, ask I if my friends are not standing next to their significant others, I really don't know what they look like. I can walk by them on the street and be like, I've never stared you dead in your face because it's none
Yeah.
of my business. You know, it's none of my business. Um, so Miami was talkative, from what you remember, very talkative in the studio. Maybe not with you, but she was talkative and whatnot. Do you remember Miami being around like Daphne and other people? Like, were there always a bunch of women around, or were they more like?
Yeah, so the first time I I seen them together, or at least that I knew that again, it could have been around. I just didn't know who they were. I knew who Young Miami is, but Daphne and anybody else. But the first time I seen them was on Thanksgiving of 2022. So they were all at his house for Thanksgiving. So he
Mhm,
sat. The table was like a U. So he sat right in the middle. Then he had his mom on one side, and then you had the twins, and then you had his you had Daphne, and then you had right across was young Miami and Sarah. Whatever people that were close to him in whatever capacity were all sitting at that table.
mm. Were they all cool together? Did you get the impression that everybody was good to get along for the go along?
I got the impression that they all knew their role, and
Mm,
whether they liked it or not, this is their role, and they're going to, for whatever their reasons are, they're not trying to um, mess up their role, or what I'm saying, cause
mhm,
any conflict. Um, Sarah, I've ran into her. She seemed like a very, very respectable, nice person,
mhm.
as well as, Daphne. It's just, I saw a mother who was very uh, excited about her firstborn, and,
Oh.
just raising her. You know what I'm saying? I saw good in those two people. So, um, and then he had his young thing who's an artist who's hot out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
my opinion, that's what's keeping him relevant. So
Miami, I agree with you. You felt like Miami was keeping him relevant, breathing life
again,
into his career.
earlier I said he's an amazing marketer. He always been and still are. So he has his reasons. I don't know everything, but for sure, in my opinion, I just feel like it was a great marketing thing for him to stay current and relevant. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
I remember that there
he's in
was
his
a bit.
50s. We got to think about that. He's in his 50s. You know what I'm saying?
What that mean?
I'm just saying, if he was, if I'm in his mind and I'm thinking how he's thinking, he can't be in his 50s trying to stay current with the young people and married to somebody who's in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? He gonna change it up a little bit, market it
Mhm.
up, change his name to Love. You know what I'm saying? Get Love
Mhm.
Records, have a kid. You know what I mean? And and get a young girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that
Ah.
you know what I mean
Mhm.
that are in place. I didn't put them in place, but again, this is my opinion. So um,
Got you. We all know this is, you guys, just to let you know, this is his opinions, his observation. Okay.
yeah.
Um, Again, recollections may vary, but we are actually asking Little Rod what his impressions of things were. Really quick, because I'm literally just very, very curious about this. So I remember earlier you said that to you, it seemed like Diddy and Young Miami's relationship was very, very good marketing. Okay. Did you see chemistry? Did you see that freeness? Did you see that easiness that they broadcasted to the world when they were in the studio?
Rephrase that question for me again.
So with Young Miami, right? I remember earlier you said that you thought that their relationship looked very much like a very astute marketing strategy, which isn't to say it wasn't real, but you said that they didn't seem as easy with each other as they appeared in the public. So in the public, they was grooving together, laughing, joking. It was all like you could see this chemistry and it was all smiles. When the cameras weren't on, did they have that freeness, that easiness, that joy
Yeah.
that they
So
exuded?
I've never seen anything toxic. For the record, I'm not
Okay.
saying that it was toxic, but
Not toxic, but go on.
I can also say that there was a moment or two where he may have said something out of his mouth, and whereas any other woman not in her situation probably would have been like, "No, boy, I ain't such. I ain't." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll just see her turn her face and just act as if he didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it was just weird to me. Like, then I'm told like, yo, somebody said that she was getting, you know, 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? On a monthly basis. It's like, yeah, you would probably be quiet too.
I mean, when people are yelling at people to go clean up on aisle four, people have been quiet for $20 an hour, let alone 100,000. Do
That's a
you? I
fact.
mean,
I think that was a good look for the both of them at the time when they was
mhm,
doing what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a good
mhm,
look. I think, it was a lift for her. She was dating a mogul in the music business who status is a billionaire, and he's in his 50s trying to stay current. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
I think it was a good look for.
We're gonna leave that right there though. But to get into the relationship, yeah, I feel like it's really hard for anyone with a huge ego to get into like to have a genuine relationship. Because if your ego's in the way, that's a whole facade straight off the jump. Getting rid of the ego is where you're able to actually really connect with someone at your at the deepest of your core. You know what I'm saying? Actually genuinely have that connection. But also in the beginning, he was explaining how he basically just kept his quote unquote team around as slaves just to do random tasks that had nothing to do with music. And he would say, "Oh, we just need to keep working on it. It's been almost done for a whole entire year." But it seems as if he was just using them for whether it was like company because he's lonely, or just to have him around to get certain tasks done. Now, when you're in the same vicinity or even household as Diddy, people don't want to step on his toes. It's like walking on eggshells. That's why he was able to have so many different people over, and he was explaining how they all just know their roles. Like whether they're happy with it or not, they know their roles. They keep their roles, and they don't want to step on his toes for whatever reason it is. Whether it's the money or they just want to continue being with. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But Young Miami is definitely her getting paid 6 figures a month says enough about the relationship. I mean, that in itself is literal transaction. You know what I'm saying? It's a literal transaction deal. But hope you guys did enjoy this video. Shout out to Teaser Tells for this interview right here. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. The same way you're going to catch me in the next one. Comment down below any other videos you want to watch together. Smash the like button, subscribe. Peace. Love ya.